What if the only thing standing between you and everything you have ever wanted is not the world, but you? What if every time you failed, every time you felt stuck, every time you watched someone else live the life you dreamed about, the real reason was never luck, never talent, never background, but simply that you had never learned to master yourself? What if I told you that right now, in this very moment, you are carrying inside you a power so enormous, so unstoppable, so completely yours, that if you ever truly learn to access it, nothing, no rejection, no failure, no obstacle, no person could ever permanently hold you back again? What if the greatest warrior you will ever face looks back at you every morning in the mirror? And what if defeating that warrior, mastering that warrior, is the one achievement that unlocks every other achievement in your life? Stay with me, because what you are about to hear is not motivation that fades by tomorrow. What you are about to hear is a truth so deep, so real, so ancient, that once it enters you, it will never leave, and your life, from this moment forward, will never be the same. What if I told you that the only prison you have ever lived in has no walls, no bars, no locks, and yet you have been trapped inside it your entire life? What if I told you that every failure you have experienced, every dream you abandoned, every moment you felt powerless, none of it happened because the world was too strong for you? What if the real reason, the only reason, was that you had not yet learned to master the one person who controls everything in your life, and that one person is not your boss, it is not your enemy, it is not fate or God or luck. That one person is you. Think about that for a moment. Truly think about it, because most people walk through this world believing that their life is controlled by forces outside themselves. They blame the economy, they blame their family, they blame their past, they blame the government, they blame the weather, they blame everything they can see, because looking outward is so much easier than looking inward. But here is the uncomfortable truth that most people spend their entire lives running away from. You are not struggling because the world is against you. You are struggling because you have not yet taken full responsibility for what lives inside you. The ancient warriors understood something that the modern world has almost completely forgotten. Before you pick up any weapon, before you enter any battlefield, before you face any enemy, you must first conquer yourself. Because a warrior who cannot control his own anger will be defeated by his anger before any opponent ever touches him. A warrior who cannot silence his own fear will surrender before the battle even begins, and a warrior who does not know himself, his strengths, his weaknesses, his deepest motivations, will fight blindly, without direction, without purpose, and without power. This is not just the philosophy of warriors. This is the fundamental truth of human existence. Every great person who has ever walked this earth, every leader, every artist, every innovator, every person who built something meaningful from nothing, they all shared one common quality. Not talent, not luck, not a privileged background. The one thing they all had in common was that they mastered themselves first. They trained their mind. They disciplined their body. They understood their emotions, and because of that inner mastery, no external force could permanently stop them. Now let me ask you something deeply personal. When was the last time you sat in complete silence and truly observed your own thoughts? Not scrolled through your phone, not distracted yourself with noise and entertainment and endless busyness, but actually sat still, closed your eyes, and watched what was happening inside your own mind? If you have never done this, or if the very idea of it makes you uncomfortable, then I want you to understand something. That discomfort is not random. That discomfort is a signal. It is telling you that there is something inside you that you have been afraid to face, something you have been running from. And the longer you run from it, the more power it holds over you. The mind is the most powerful instrument in the known universe. And like every powerful instrument, it can either be your greatest tool or your most dangerous enemy, depending entirely on whether or not you have learned to use it. An untrained mind is like a sword with no handle. It has tremendous power, but without proper control, it will cut the very hand that holds it. You have seen this in your own life, haven't you? Moments where your own thoughts destroyed your own peace. Moments where your own fear talked you out of your own dream. Moments where your own anger burned down something beautiful that you had spent years building. That was not the world hurting you. That was you, an untrained mind, turning against itself. So what does it actually mean to master yourself? It means something far deeper and far more demanding than what most people imagine. It is not about becoming a robot without feelings. It is not about suppressing your emotions or pretending that pain does not exist. It is not about being cold or emotionless or detached from the world. Mastering yourself means developing the awareness to observe your emotions without being controlled by them. It means feeling anger and choosing not to act from that anger. It means feeling fear and choosing to move forward anyway. It means feeling laziness, feeling doubt, feeling the powerful pull of comfort, and choosing discipline over comfort every single day, even when no one is watching. This is where most people fail, not in the big moments, not in the dramatic turning points of life. Most people fail in the quiet, ordinary, invisible moments when no one is watching, when there is no applause, when there is no reward. The moment when the alarm goes off at 5 in the morning and every cell in your body is screaming at you to stay in bed. The moment when you are tired and frustrated and someone pushes the wrong button and you have a choice between reacting from emotion or responding from wisdom. The moment when you are faced with the choice between what feels good right now and what will make you proud 5 years from now. These small, invisible moments, these are where your character is truly being built. These are where self-mastery is either practiced or abandoned. And here is something that society never teaches you, something that they should carve into the walls of every school, every home, every place where human beings are learning to become who they will be. Discipline is not your enemy. Discipline is the most loving thing you can offer yourself. When you discipline your body, when you train it, push it, build it, you are telling yourself that you are worth the effort. When you discipline your mind, when you study, when you reflect, when you choose to think rather than react, you are telling yourself that your future matters. When you discipline your emotions, when you pause before you speak, when you breathe before you explode, when you choose understanding over judgment, you are telling yourself and the world that you are a person of depth and power. But let me be completely honest with you about something. This path, the path of self-mastery, is not comfortable. It is not designed to be comfortable. Comfort is the enemy of growth. Every single time you choose comfort over discipline, you are making a small withdrawal from the account of your own potential. And every time you choose discipline over comfort, you are making a deposit. Now here is the mathematics that changes everything. These deposits and withdrawals compound. Over days, over months, over years, the gap between the person who consistently chooses discipline and the person who consistently chooses comfort becomes so enormous that it looks like destiny, it looks like fate, it looks like some people were simply born lucky, but it was never luck, it was never talent, it was the compounded result of daily choices made in invisible moments. Think of a tree. When you look at a 1,000-year-old tree, massive, towering, immovable, you are not seeing something that happened overnight. You are seeing the result of thousands of days of slow, silent, invisible growth. The roots went deeper before the branches went higher, and that is exactly what self-mastery does to a human being. It sends your roots deeper, deeper into self-knowledge, deeper into discipline, deeper into emotional intelligence, so that when the storms of life come, and they will come, you do not break. You bend and you stand again, because you are rooted in something the storm cannot reach. Now I want to talk about the people in your life, the people around you who doubt you, who discourage you, who tell you that your dreams are too big, that you are not enough, that you should be more realistic. I want you to stop seeing these people as your enemies. They are not your enemies. They are mirrors. They are reflecting back to you the beliefs that they have accepted about their own lives, the limitations they have chosen for themselves, and they are offering you those same limitations as a gift because that is all they have to give. But you do not have to accept the gift. You can look at that mirror with compassion and you can choose a different reflection for yourself, because when you have truly mastered yourself, when your peace does not depend on what others say about you, when your direction does not change because of other people's opinions, when your worth does not require anyone else's validation, then the words of doubters become meaningless. Not because you are arrogant, not because you do not care about people, but because you have built something inside yourself that is stronger than any opinion, stronger than any criticism, stronger than any rejection. You have built an unshakable center, and from that center, no power in the world, no circumstance, no person, no failure, no setback can permanently stop you. Let me tell you about resistance. Every time you try to grow, you will feel resistance. Every time you try to build a new habit, break an old pattern, step outside your comfort zone, you will feel a powerful internal force pushing back against you. This resistance is real. It is not weakness. It is not failure. It is actually proof that you are trying to grow. Because resistance only appears when you are moving. When you are standing still, there is no resistance. The moment you begin to walk toward your potential, resistance walks with you. And the secret, the thing that separates people who grow from people who stay stuck, is not that successful people feel no resistance. It is that they have learned to walk with it anyway. They have made peace with discomfort. They have accepted that growth is uncomfortable, and they have chosen growth anyway. Your past does not define you. I want you to hear this clearly because this is something that so many people use as a chain around their own neck. Whatever happened to you, whatever was done to you, whatever mistakes you made, whatever pain you carry, it is real. It happened. I am not asking you to pretend it did not. But it is the past. It is over. It exists only in your memory, and your memory is not your destiny. The person you were yesterday does not have to be the person you are today. Every single morning, when you open your eyes, you are being given a new opportunity, not a guarantee, but an opportunity to make a different choice, to take a different action, to become a slightly better version of yourself than you were the day before. And if you take that opportunity seriously enough, consistently enough, over enough time, the transformation that happens will be almost unrecognizable. Because everything you want, every dream, every goal, every version of yourself that you have imagined, lives on the other side of the work you have been avoiding. Do the work. Master yourself. And let no power on this earth stop you.